Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the end of September of 2022, and with Andor episodes 1 through 3 now out on Disney+, fans are awaiting episode 4 to see how the story moves along by Tony Gilroy, of course. And given that Disney executives are really trying their best to expand the roadmap that will be unveiled, by the way, at Star Wars Celebration next year, there's also a lot of other announcements on the horizon. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that we have John, George, and Dave all working together as a team to really deliver the best Star Wars experience as possible. And given that they will be giving us highlights from Star Wars Legends to become canon in the Star Wars universe, that really does tell the fans a lot and exactly how much they really do care about the Star Wars universe. Now, with that being said, where we are today is exactly what matters, because I think that Tales of the Jedi is the true beginning of the golden age of Star Wars, because that's where, of course, John and Dave have full creative power over everything Star Wars. It's the very beginning of it all, except for Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte, of course. Those are the two projects that Kathleen Kennedy has full creative power over for the most part, except for Acolyte, which she has 4 whole episodes that she has control over. But that brings us to what's been going on behind the scenes with Kathleen Kennedy for one of the new Star Wars TV shows that are currently in the works. Now, with that being said, of course, there's a lot of things happening with the Acolyte TV show and, of course, other TV shows out there. So, with, of course, Kathleen Kennedy currently struggling with the Acolyte series, still by Leslie Headland, Disney executives have been making some regulations with that show as of late. Now, it's described, however, that recently one of the big decisions that Disney recently made for Kathleen Kennedy is that they recently let her go from The Mandalorian Season 4 and fired her as a producer for the series. Essentially, Mando 4 from this point on ahead will be run by no other than Jon Favreau, both on a creative level, which was already concrete before this, and also now on a business level, and how the show will be budgeted and marketed. Favreau is currently discussing all of this with Disney on trying to make Mando 4 the highest budget season of The Mandalorian yet, in order to give it a true cinematic feel like Star Wars Andor has. Now, the main reason why Disney decided to let go of Kathleen Kennedy from the 4th season of Mando as a producer had a lot to do with the fact that she was pushing this idea to Disney executives to lower the budget even lower than the 3rd season of the show in order to save revenue for other Star Wars series. Now, Kennedy was presenting this whole plan for the 4th season of Mando on the business side to make it more of a low-budget show this time around and to end the show with a 4th season. So let me just stop here quickly for a second before I get to the next material, is that Kathleen Kennedy really wanted to limit the 4th season of The Mandalorian, not only as being the last season, but also making it a low-budget season, even lower than the 3rd season. And I don't know why Kathleen Kennedy always has like this agenda or this problem with whatever Jon Favreau is making, but this is of course what she was planning on the business side of things. Now let's remember that Kathleen Kennedy never had full creative power at all over Mando 4, but she still had control over it on the business level. She was the one that was going to market it, set the budgeting, decide on whether or not this was going to actually expand to something greater. And of course, thankfully, Disney has removed her from the equation of Mandalorian Season 4 as a producer. Jon Favreau will be taking over as a producer. This is fantastic news, because given that Favreau has produced so much material in the past in the film industry, he has the experience. He has the knowledge to do it correctly. He knows what, kind of budget is too high or too low. And I respect him for that, I do. I think that he's really on a roll here. I think that he knows what he's doing. Star Wars is looking brighter and brighter every day when it comes to Favreau and Filoni. Now, yes, Kathleen Kennedy had a large hand in Andor, Kenobi, and Boba Fett. Those are the 3 shows that are basically the last projects, in the past tense, of course. And when you look at everything like this, Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte are the only projects in the future that she has control over. And that's it. So basically, Kathleen Kennedy's creative power is coming to a close, and the business side of her power is just getting taken out bit by Disney executives, and I couldn't be happier about that. I really am very happy about this. So, Favreau, alright, let's move on to the next thing, is that has now all since been changed, as Disney recently let her go and replaced her with Favreau, and that Favreau is now already discussing a season 5 and 6 with Disney executives. The plan by Favreau is to end the series as a whole by season 6. However, he wants to wait and see what the fan reception will look like for a season 4 first. Now, Kennedy wanted to remove all plans also of any cameos making appearances in Mando 4, which is what really made Disney's final decision on removing Kathleen Kennedy as a producer for the 4th season. I don't know about you guys, but removing the cameos would have been a big mistake. I don't know why Kathleen Kennedy is so, focused on removing familiar aspects of Star Wars, but this would have never happened anyway to begin with because she had no creative power. So this was just one of the main reasons as to why Disney finally decided to pull the plug on Kathleen Kennedy being a producer for Mando 4, which, by the way, I must add, Mando 4 is simply described as the most important season of The Mandalorian, as it's going to have revelations of Grogu's true identity, who he really is, where he comes from, and how Favreau and Filoni are making sure that the revelation of Grogu is going to be bigger than the I am your father moment from The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know how that's going to be possible, but they're making it possible, and they are promising that it's not over-exaggerated. So they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. I think that Favreau and Filoni know how to build the hype. They know how to get the fans excited because they are mixing elements of the Jedi and the Force with the side of the Mandalorian. And I think it was really a great move on their end to have Din Djarin, wield the dark saber and give us that side of the story. I think that they're doing a very good job with that. So, Kathleen Kennedy getting fired as a producer for Mando 4 is just the beginning. She is losing the business side of Star Wars one by one. I think that by the time, next year arrives, she's going to lose more shows, without a doubt. The Acolyte series, let's hop on this real quick. It's not looking bright. They want to get this thing filmed by December. They want to begin filming, I should say, by December. And they're only doing preliminary filming right now. Alright, so they have a lot of sets that are being built. That's taking quite a long time. It's costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars to build these sets. And it's going to really take a lot of time, quite a number of months to get these things built up. So December is looking like the earliest at this point, and if they can't get it by December, they're looking at January. That would mean that the Acolyte will not arrive until probably Q1 or Q2 of 2024. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.